Hi, this is Susan from the movie world. Same places on Crimson Rise 26.
With the Chief of Police of Woodland Park, Miles Young, our cousin, and he just got done taking us through the tour of the police station. Kids had a blast, got to see the evidence area, got to see the cells, got to see the offices, Miles' office, and they got to crawl around one of the cars. They had a blast. So kids, do you guys have any questions for Chief of Police?
How long do you think it takes you to find one bad guy?
Very good question, and it just depends on what they've done. So one bad guy that we caught was driving after drinking too much, and that was easy when we caught him when he was driving. Another person was from a case you guys may have heard of, the Frazee Case. And it took us many, many months to get him. But we did get him, and we were able to arrest him and put him in jail.
What's the best thing you like about your job?
Giving tours to young people and you know, making sure that they choose a good path in life. So, yeah, that's probably one of the best things.
This is Chief of Police. This is my cousin Mark. Say hi.
Hi. So, yeah, this is the corner office. So,
Miles, so I have a few questions about police and bad guys. So, how much police officers do you have here?
that's a good question. We have 22 police officers and 4 part-time officers and 8 dispatchers and 2 victim advocates and then 8 more volunteer victim advocates and an admin assistant.
What tips do you have for children to stay safe when they're traveling with their parents?
Always let your parents know where you're at. Always tell them where you're going. Always listen to your parents. Be careful of strangers that are out there too. A lot of times people will see a bunch of kids like you. If there's 6 kids running around, it's very easy for them to grab one of the 6, and before mom and dad know it, you're gone. So always be careful when you're traveling. You know, make sure that you're masking up when you're in places where you should be masking up. Yep, a lot of you have your masks with you today. So that's good, good stuff for you too. The other thing is be careful when you're on the internet. There's a lot of people out there that want to communicate with you on the internet that you probably shouldn't be talking to. So be careful with that when you're online.
Why did you become a police officer?
The best part about being a police officer is helping people when they need help. I see people when they are having the worst day of their life, and I make them make it a little bit better. That's why I do this job. This is our lobby. First place people come in. Not really. So sometimes we'll take your fingerprints right here, and so this is the fingerprint area. Then we'll do interviews in here, so we'll bring folks in.
Oh, you mean around in the
talk about a crime or something's going on. We'll interview them in here, and so this is where we do this.
I love that.
Yep. So there's the interview room. We have a lot of deer that die or get hit, and so we had to actually have one stuffed so we could show the new officers how they can actually put a deer down, because most of them didn't grow up hunting or around wildlife. So we have a deer as an example to do some education. So,
Does the deer have a name?
it does not have a name. One of our officers that never shot a deer before, that was the first deer she had to shoot. So a lot of the guys are pretty jealous about that.
What was your first assignment as a police officer?
My first assignment as a police officer was working patrol. And that's the first assignment everybody gets as a police officer, so they can learn how to be a police officer. So I was a patrol officer for over a year, and then I went to another police department where I was a patrol officer for another year, and then I was lucky enough to test for a position, and I became a patrol sergeant. And so after 2 years as a police officer, I became a sergeant, and I was in charge of a bunch of other people, and still working the streets doing police officer work. Okay, you guys might like this. This is interview room. You can see in, but they can't see you. So see how it's just kind of blank on that side?
I can see them.
On their side very well.
They can't see us.
Not too well, right?
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta try really hard.
Let's try going inside. I can see the people outside.
Well, yeah, but you gotta work really. Oh, through the camera. That's a special camera.
Sophia, I can see you.
Oh, you'll see.
This is pretty clear too.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, you can see my mom.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this is a police officer. This is Mike. He's one of the sergeants. Yeah, this is my family from back in Minnesota, so give them a little tour. So,
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too.
do you have any badge stickers in here? I do. Yeah? Uh-oh. Got 6 of them?
Like a whole bunch of them.
Yeah? Hey guys, he's got something for you. Yeah, he's gonna hook you up.
Go on in. Introduce yourself and go on in.
Hi.
My name is
Tristan? Michael, nice to meet you.
Thomas. You want my name I see?
Dominic, nice to meet you.
My name's
Michael. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
You put this in one with
And
me.
yours?
I don't have any free hands right now.
Nice to meet you. Lily? Michael, nice to meet you, sweetie. There you go.
There you go.
What does everyone say?
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Quite the view.
Oh, it's a wonderful thing here in Paradise.
Yes. Come on. No running.
How do you do badges in?
How do you earn your badges?
How do you earn your badges? You have to go to a police academy, and after that, you have to come to a police department like mine, and then you spend 13 weeks in training, and then once you're done with the 13 weeks, then you become a police officer that can drive around by themselves, and then they have their badge. They don't have to have a training officer, and the badge looks kind of like that. So a lot of times the officers will come in here, get a little workout before they start their shift. So,
Like this?
yep, kettlebell, you got it.
I'm
So
strong.
yeah, it's kind of how they start their shifts a lot of the times.
Here, let me take that. I got it. Can I try? So.
What's your favorite piece of equipment in here?
I usually do the P90X, so
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
just the good old calisthenics. And then we have
The lab.
the lab.
I read it.
So when we have stuff happen, a lot of times the guys will bring it in here and they'll process their stuff. So behind me is the evidence room. So the evidence room is in the core of our building, and it has all the evidence from crimes, drugs, money, weapons, other stuff that's involved.
See it?
Nope, nobody goes in there. There's only 2 people that are allowed to go in there in the whole department. So they're responsible for everything that's in there. So we don't let them go in there.
I do one of them.
Nope, not even me, because I don't want to be responsible for it, even though I am. Yep, in here, this is a super glue fuming hood, and so when we use this, we break some super glue, and the fumes in there will stick to the fingerprints, and then we can pull the fingerprints off of there. So that's kind of an older piece of technology, but pretty cool. 20 years ago, it was the state-of-the-art technology. So just the door would slide open. So yeah, it's just set up and standing by there. And then over here, we've got a drying rack or a drying hood. So sometimes when we have clothing that's got blood or other stuff on it, we'll dry it out before we put it into evidence. It keeps it from getting moldy or rotting on us, and so it's able to be maintained a lot better. And then behind you is an incinerator, so that's where the drugs that we get rid of go to. So we're able to get rid of them because we get a lot of drugs around here.
I have a station. Oh,
Just one?
I have all of the stations actually. Do you have any prisoner uniforms?
Good question. No, we don't. We let them go. We let them stay in their own clothes until they go to the jail. We just have a temporary holding facility here while we do our paperwork. Once they go up to jail, then you do get the jail clothes, which are green and white striped. They're pretty ugly. You don't want to wear them.
Okay. And when they drive the cars in, and they go in jail, what's the first thing that you estimate they'll do?
Once they get into jail, they have to answer a bunch of questions, they have to change their clothes, and then they get a holding cell. It's pretty small. You get to sit in for a very long time to think about what they did. And over here is the holding cell. So the holding cell is where we put people after they've been arrested. So
Can we go in it?
yep, you can go in there, just don't ask for the door. Yeah.
This is amazing. I'm in a real live holding cell right now. Okay, pull this seat up. Don't lock us in here, please. Don't lock us in here, please.
I will not lock you in here.
You guys, split animal bad guys. Oh, bad guy. Get us out of this freaking Has a criminal ever escaped from the holding cell?
Not from the holding cells downstairs. We've had one escape from the back of a police car because we didn't pull the wiring for the back window. And so once that happened, we pulled the wiring to fix that problem, and I gave the officer pink handcuffs just in case the person tried to run away from her again. It'd be easier to tell that they had handcuffs on. And this is where they drive in with their cars. So when they arrest somebody, they drive them in a vehicle. Close the door behind them, and then take the person out of the vehicle. So this is the side door.
Do you have a lot of bicycle police?
We used to, and it's just something we're trying to keep on getting guys and gals back into, but it's a lot of work up here at 9,500 feet, so not a lot of interest in it right now. So this is the indoor shooting range. It's a 25-yard indoor range. We use scramble ammunition down here. We're able to do pistol, rifle, shotgun training down here, and we train all year round. So great asset. It's kind of nice to qualify down here in February when it's cold outside. So it's just one of the nice things that we managed to get out of this building. So we do arrest control down here. We do basic SWAT training down here, and arrest control. So we stay busy.
Can I punch the punching bag?
Yes, Miles.
Miles, can I punch the punching bag?
You can punch the punching bag.
What do you want to do to that punching bag?
To win the loss from the parents and you'll evolve from them. So find its people that the lost and go away.
So how do we find kids that are lost?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the ways we do that is we ask, what are they wearing? And what color was the shirt? What color is their pants? What do they look like? What color is their hair? And so once we find out what you look like, then we tell all the other police officers in the area that somebody's missing and give them a description of what you look like in your clothes. And then we start searching in a grid just to kind of see where you might be.
Where are you driving to?
I'm gonna go to the end of the earth.
In a police vehicle.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I have a question. What's the fastest you ever been in a police car?
The speedometer stopped working at 146 miles an hour. And we're still accelerating.
Okay, let's stop here for a second. Do you see the glance that these two cousins are giving each other and that little smile that came on their faces when they started talking about driving a car really, really ridiculously fast? These two lived together back in high school for a little bit, and I hear stories every now and then about some trouble they caused. And I know they are both silently reminiscing in their minds about those good times. So kids, don't try that at home. Drive a car under a speed limit. Let's get back to it.
Was that kind of fun?
It was kind of fun, but kind of scary at the same time.
Yeah, accelerating. A little smile when he answered that question.
Yes.
I need to get in the back.
Yeah, we'll just put them all in there. They can't get out. Yeah, there's no.
Is this automatically locked?
Yeah, there's no way for them to open up. You can't get out. They're literally stuck in there. Yeah. We haven't figured it out yet, though.
Hey, are you guys stuck back there?
Mama,
Can you get out?
Mama? No, we actually can't. Right, that's the point.
It moves so easily.
Just push it. Just push it.
What the heck?
So we used to get people out of the way.
Get your.
Anything you want to say to your children back there?
Wait, we came in here for free.
What'd you guys do to get in trouble this time?
We robbed a bank.
Robbed a bank. That would be your MO there, bud.
I stole painting.
Oh, you saw. Oh, you like Carmen Sandiego? Yeah.
And I stole people's
What do you think?
houses. No, you robbed a house. I robbed a house. I robbed you.
At least you're in the right spot in the police car. You're
Yes,
in the front
not
instead
in
of
the
the back. Officer Lee.
When someone becomes the police chief, have to do a test?
That is a good question. So when I became chief of police, I had been working here for a long time, and I was selected by my boss to become the next police chief. I was a deputy police chief, and then the police chief retired and left, and I became the chief of police. But I had to be confirmed after I was selected by the city manager by the city council. So the city manager selected me, and then the city council appointed me. So there wasn't necessarily a test. I'd done testing all the way up until deputy chief, and at that point there was nobody else that they wanted to select. I was the one that they wanted for the job, and I was picked.
What has been your hardest case, like ever being a police officer?
That is easy for me to answer. In 2018, we had a missing persons call on Kelsey Barrett, and it was around Thanksgiving, and she disappeared. And her fiance was saying that she just ran away, and we found out later on that he killed his fiance. And it took us a long time, but if you look up Patrick Frazee and Kelsey Barrett, you'll see a very big case that we worked here that went international. We had probably over 60 news companies from overseas, international news companies that were calling us on top of all the news companies that were in the United States. And it was a very, very, very big case, and it's the biggest case in my career, and I hope I never have another one like it.
Kids, this better be the only time you're in the back of a police car.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us on this episode of the Ruby Red. Make sure to click that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and we'll see you next time.